Well, what is this? In this short video, I'm going to explain to you what this thing is, and I'm going to show you how to create them as a part of a project that you might do in CSC 200 here at DePaul University. Okay, as to what it is, this is a QR code. That means quick response. You're going to start seeing these all over the place if you haven't already, because they encode up to a couple of thousand characters of text in this bar pattern, this little matrix, and it can be read by all sorts of cell phones and the iTouch and other kinds of equipment that are even more specialized. The interesting use being made of it now is to encode a URL, so that if this code with the appropriate URL that you want to distribute is printed someplace, you just made it possible for somebody with one of these marvelous electronic devices that can scan these things to very quickly access the website. Now there's a short write-up, one page in the course materials, which I'm making available for this course, that explains more about these. What I'm going to do right now, though, is just show you how to create it. And in order to do this, I'm going to show you a place that Google provides that generates these once you put in whatever URL or text that you want to distribute. Let me show you first of all a URL that exists for a YouTube video. I put this out here large on the screen so that you can read it. This happens to be a video that I put up on YouTube a little while ago. It introduces the third week of this term, and the only reason I put this here was so that I could copy it this way and very quickly put it into the clipboard, so that when I go into the tool here that Google provides, you can actually watch me put that URL in here, where currently there will be nothing. Where am I right now, though? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here is the URL of the generator that Google provides. Now, it doesn't have Google's name in it. This ZXING is the name of a project that they've started to provide this. And if you use this URL, or you go through Google and just do a search for QR code generator, you'll probably wind up here. So I've already entered this URL into a browser's address line, and that's what you're going to see next. Here is the address that I just showed you on that prior screen. Here is the URL that I've just copied to the clipboard, and all I'm going to do now is to indicate that what I want to encode is a URL. There's all sorts of other things, but actually what people are using this most for these days is a URL. So I'm going to put my cursor in the URL slot, and I'm going to paste in the URL of the place that I want you to get to by scanning this QR code. I generate this, and there's the QR code. Now, this control lets me do it at different sizes. So for printing this on a business card, for example, you might print it kind of small. For example purposes, I'm going to generate this rather large so that you can see it. Now, what can I do with this? Well, I'm going to right mouse click on it and save the picture. And I'm going to save it as something, just a demonstration, out here in my folder called My Pictures. Now, if I take that and I put it into a document, or even if I just display it on the screen in this way, somebody can scan that, and immediately they will be taken by the device they're scanning it with, your cell phone or an iTouch, for example, and you will see that website. It's a way of conveying this text, this URL here, to you without you having to type it in. And that's what's really interesting about it. So read the page that I've written up about the real potential of these QR codes. They're taking off now in a big way, and you'll see a pattern like this in all sorts of places, on billboards, on advertising, on the side of a bus. As long as somebody can scan this, their device will take them to that website. Now I'm going to demonstrate for you what happens when this gets scanned. I'm going to print this out, and then I'll scan it with an iTouch. Here's an example of what a page might look like when it's printed with a QR. See over here, that square pattern is a QR. Presumably somewhere on this page, maybe in the same paragraph that the QR is next to, there may be a hyperlink.
that hyperlink would be active when you look at this document as an online document, that is a PDF that has an active hyperlink in it. But if this page were being read out of a printed book, then of course the hyperlink wouldn't have any effect at all, because you don't have a computer that you're looking at this on. Take a look over here though. This QR expresses the URL of the same place that the hyperlink here goes to. So what I'm going to do right now is use an iTouch, that is this device right here. The 4th generation iTouch has a camera here, and it's also got a camera back here. That picture taking capability is used by software such as this application, 2D Code Me, and I think that was free out there at the App Store for Apple. So if I activate that, what happens is I get this, and that's just an application that when I activate it, it uses the camera. And you see the camera is looking at that very same code right now. So if I go over here and I focus the camera on that so that it's nice and clear, and I hit the picture taking button, now I have a picture of that QR, and then down here there's a little button that says use. So if I click that, it interprets the code, and if you can see on here, right in here is expressed the address, the URL of that site that's encoded there. Now the information at the site isn't encoded there, just the URL. So if I say open, because this device is equipped with Wi-Fi, it's gone to the web and it finds that hyperlink, and when I play this, the video will play.
Hi everybody, how you doing? This is just the end of the two. Hello everybody, this is the end.
So if you get the drift of what's happening here, somebody with one of these devices, either a cell phone that's equipped with a QR code reader, and many are, or a device like this, an iTouch, that's also equipped with one of these readers, can take a look and interpret that QR code and very quickly get the benefit of the hyperlink. Now the whole point of this, of course, is that by doing that, this page becomes active, just as any sign, billboard, side of a bus that has a QR code becomes active when someone has one of these devices, which are increasingly common. The neat thing about this is it makes this document active. A printed workbook, printed version as I had planned of this workbook, becomes also an active document that with one of these little devices makes that hyperlink accessible even from a printed book. And I think that's a very, very neat thing. That, I think, is going to have an impact on the future in terms of textbook publishing, because I, for one, will write materials like this and make them available both in computerized form and as inexpensive printed pages through a workbook publisher that my work has been published by in the past. So in the future, I'd say in the very near future, what you're seeing on the web will continue to be there as a document that you can read electronically for free. But also available will be this and many other pages bound into an inexpensive workbook that still has the same benefit of active hyperlinks with the addition of a device like this.
And I think that's one of the neatest developments to come down the pike in a long time. My name's Jim Janossy. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.